Yay! Fabric arrived, and I'll show you the quality. It's different than the cheap ass fabric, so it was expensive, but at least I'm not paying only because it's the size I want. Dimensions, more or less. But in fact it is way thicker, feels better fabric in any way. Got my roller knife. These also came in, so these are branded ones. And let's see if it makes a difference. So I'm not sure how to cut this. Apparently these knives are really nice to use, so I intend to use one. This piece should be long enough for 4 speakers, but I'm gonna cut one strip for 1 speaker before I cut up all the rest. And as a straight edge, I'm gonna use this piece of HPL, my favorite material. You know. So let's see. I hope I can draw it like this, and then just measure it kind of. It should be less than this. Too bad this piece of HPL is 35.5, I think 37.5, so just gonna measure 2 centimeters from the edge. Then I'm pretty clear, I think. I want to cut as nice as possible because it makes sewing so much easier. So let's reject before I cut because it was expensive. Okay, so actually this thing is not exactly 35.5, slightly more. Slightly more, so at least slightly less than 2 centimeters. Something like this. It's stretchable, so it doesn't, it's not like you cut off half a meter as much as it's 24. So let's see how it works. I have to how it works, but it works. Which I had 1/4 of them. Yeah, that's what I had. This looks perfect. Okay, yes, this is the cut I want. That's a perfect cut. So that works. I mean, if you had to do this with scissors, well, you might have an idea how that looks. Kind of snips and completely ugly. So it's a bit dirty. I mean, I have a cat, so there will be hair everywhere, unfortunately. But that's the way it is. I might wash it. I am doing this the right way, I hope. It's nice to hear this stuff. That should be right there. And we should be able to kind of eyeball this. Oh. Ah, okay. There's some sticky stuff on the glass that makes it look like it's still a cartridge. Actually isn't. So, not the cleanest stuff here. I mean, it's you can persist, that's for sure. If I would like to do this more often, I would definitely make a piece of this stuff the size of what I need, because that saves a lot of time, of course. Look how big this is. And it weighs. So that went rather well. I'll grab one of the crappy pieces as well, if I can find something. I mean the other material. It's not per se crap, but it's definitely not the same. So this is the cheap stuff. It has some sort of weird feel and look. It's also very thin, as you can see. You can see my favorite clamping method laying in the back. Stretchy as hell, curls up, as you can see here. That makes sewing so much worse. Terrible, evenly. This stuff, if you look at the edge, if you pull it, it will also curl, but normally it's quite it's a straight edge. Now this material, let me see if you can see the clamps as well, as good as with the other one. Yes, you can. Actually, maybe even more. Depending on how you look through it. Sideways you see more. Oh, that's weird. I'm gonna fold it, but the good side will be on the inside. So the side I'm not gonna use is now on the outside. Before I'm gonna do anything else. This is the way I'm gonna feed it in the machine, and I hoped I could make like a pile here and ram it through without using needles. I'm just gonna test a little piece, and if it's not okay, then I just remove the stitches. It is possible. It's not so much fun, but you know, it's better than throwing away the material. So before I begin, I am no expert. First of all, you should have room, which I don't actually have. Soldering iron in the way. Too much light as well. There we have it. I'm already bad at it. Probably it's not helping to have a camera stand in between your legs as well. Normally you would throw this on the ground. Gonna throw it on my lap and hope it will keep being aligned without using needles. That's probably the stupidest thing I'm gonna do right now. But yeah. So put it in here. Look at our zigzag pattern. I'm gonna use, I don't know, something like this. Yeah, well, let's just see what it does. Where's the button? I hope I'm not too much on the edge, but we'll see. Is it turned on evenly? Just go slow and also a bit backwards, then forwards. It's so it doesn't unravel at the beginning. Oh, there we got a first fuck up. I don't dare to go too fast as of yet. Let's line it up nicely. That's the reason this fucking thing is still. Go away. I'm not pulling on it, I'm just letting the machine do it. This is a foot that grabs the material and pulls it, which result in better looking stitches with stretch material. Otherwise it will all... yeah, you stretch the material because you pull it through, and that's not what you want, because then the stitch is under tension. Gonna see if I'm lined up still. Pretty much up. Line up still. Try not to be in. Well, that's a dual. Now we're near the end, as you can see, and then we're gonna, well, I'll show you what I'll do. Gonna do a few with manual. That one is a miss. And now we're going a little bit backwards. Back and forth. Now it should be, if I up this one, needle is in the top position, so check that before you rip it out and break the needle. Then sometimes it's a stick. You cut off this wire. And then there you should have a shortage on light. Almost. That's not bad, if I may say so. I mean, I know this is just a straight stitch, but for me, that's something. Okay, that's one side done. Just gotta do it the same because it worked out quite nice, I think. Check line up still, that looks nice. Line up a bit better. Losing it a bit. Also, I think, got it wrong. Steering it is something you need to be getting used to. At least I do. It's a bit like steering a boat, you know, or something. I don't know. Just you have to move the fabric this way. No, you see, I have to think about it too much. I'm just doing it. Actually, it's not written. Line up here again. I think this one is at its end. So it was at its end, but it was the bottom thread. So, okay. It's no biggie. I'll cut it loose. You can see the spool is under tension because the wire was at its end. It's also it was original red wire and black was spool over it. Yay, so we can wind some on this spool. Didn't do that for ages, so let's see if I can manage to do that. I'll be able to manage to do that. Spool was full, did rewind something on it, and I thought the camera was running, but actually it wasn't, so I'm just gonna redo it. Huh? Why not? So the wire was like this, I'll snap it. It was sitting on this spool holder. Put it here right now. Then I got my spool, which has some wire already because I just put something on there. And I'm gonna thread this wire through this loop. I'm not even sure if this is needed because I just did it. A few turns on there. Give it a few turns by hand. And move it to the right. And then there should probably be something to disable the sewing, the needle going up and down while you do this, but didn't find it yet, so I don't know, but it works like this as well, so I'm just gonna do it like this. And we just hit the gas pedal. Oh, please. Bam! I think it's enough for now. I mean, but you get the idea. Then we cut the wire and put it aside. Then we're gonna wire the top part of the sewing machine. In this case, I mean, every sewing machine is different, but the basics are usually the same, I think. Move it to there, wire it through here. Well, it was actually already there, so that's good. Get it in this ring. I really always have to think about how it works. Not sure why, but this... No, it has to be in this loop. Probably there is a very nice, easy... Oh, there it is. You see, I didn't even know what I did. You didn't either because you couldn't see it, but wind it in this ring here, guide. Stretch it around the tensioner. Just like this. Easy as that. Put it through this hole there. And you can see it, well, maybe you can't, but it gives tension. Hear it? Then I think there's this bar here. I think the wire should be behind this, but I'm not really sure. It's dirty as well there, so actually it might never have been there. But there is another thing right here. And then we can thread it. Let me see if I can do it in one go. Give the wire a little lick. Try to do it from the back side so you might be able to see, which I don't think is the case, and also it's not as easy as do it from the front. There you go. Now we're gonna place our spool in the housing here. This is the weird part. Spool has a certain way of sitting, in this case with the holes upwards. And I just dump it in, leave this wire like here or something, hanging on the side. And just try to manually, so move the wheel towards you, and it should be pulling the wire up. Did it? No, it didn't. There, it did. Hard to see, but it should have done it. Ah, you can see it now. Did you? So, there. You see, it pulled the wire up. So there's a tiny loop. I'm gonna grab that with something. With something, in this case some snips, why not? There we have it, that's our two wires. Gonna put it on the side. All said and done, I think. That is not even that hard. I managed to do it, cool. So let's move you up a little bit on the side. So I can see what I'm doing actually. And finish the last piece where it kind of went overboard. Going back a little bit. Like here or something. A little bit back and forth again. And we're gonna back again, forth again, back again. Get this thing up, look at the needle if it's okay, correct position. If it's stuck, it helps to wiggle the wheel a little bit. There we have it. Whoop. Perfect snips. There you have it. That's the seam. It's not bad. There is some wibbly wobbly, I'm not sure what it is. I think I'll take the distance from stitch to stitch. I'll make it smaller for the next one. If I know, if I can find out which setting that is. But this is perfectly fine for my things. Would be great. I'm gonna look if I can pull it over one of the speakers. I mean, we're not gonna see this stitch even, because there's gonna be wood. So it doesn't have to look great. It just have to be stitched together, so it's easy to remove the socks and put socks on and put the wood on and be done with it. So that's your first class in sewing, brought to you by Not Even an Amateur. So yeah, nice reflection. Well, can't help it much, but let's see if it fits. That would be nice, to be honest. So I have flopped it inside out. Let's see if it fits. I hope it's not too big. It is kind of sloppy. But this might be actually... That went really easy, but with the other socks it was quite a hassle. So I hope there is enough tension, else I have to cut off a little bit more and do the seam again. But then I know what kind of width I should use. So 37.5 might be too much, I'll just do 35. Since it's stretched, that's no problem. For now I think this might be a tad too loose for my taste. But the other one was also shit. There's also always some extra material in these corners, but you will fold it like this inside the wooden sides. That's the idea at least, but hold it down. 150 I say. I might not agree. Because I have not much material left. For real, if their size is not correct, I'm gonna flip out. All this effort to... That would be so fucking annoying. My speakers are 145. So yeah. I asked for 3 meters. So that would be enough, if you ask me. I mean, 2 times 145 equals not 3 meters. So if they're if it's too short, I'm gonna call them and say they're gonna send me a whole new 3 meters of the stuff, because I'm not gonna measure their stupid shit before I use it. But besides that, I might be able to stretch it. I'll show you. I think I'll manage, but I am gonna call them, because you see, almost. I missed like 2 or 3 centimeters. Well, actually I needed 190 plus the top, which is 4 centimeters or something. And you have 194. Sorry, 294. 294 centimeters. I asked 3 meters. I bought 3 meters. I paid for 3 meters. And I should have 6 centimeters left even. But apparently, if you buy per meter, they tend to give you a little bit less. That's usually not the case. Usually you'll just do 3 meters and some more. That's how it works. This is not how it works. Motherfuckers. Pissed. I will stretch it up, but I am still pissed.